All right, most of the time pagination issues show up at the book level. So we have our four components here and they're all set the same. Let's show you the settings here. Format, page layout, pagination, and you'll see they're all set to start on right-hand page and then delete empty pages. Now, in most cases, we would be working with a book. So let's create a book here. New book. And then it's going to ask us, do we want to add component 1? And we will save this. And we'll just call it book.book. All right, and then we'll add the rest of the components to it. So there's 2, 3, 4, and we just add them there. And of course, it adds them out of order. So let's rearrange them here. So there's our 4, and we'll save the book. Now, initially, everything looks like we would expect. So we've got component 1 has 1 page, component 2 has 1 page, component 3 has 1 page, and it's actually telling us the page number. Now, we could change the numbering here just so it's a little bit easier to see. And what I want you to be aware of is that you could change numbering at the document level as well. So if you go to Format, Document, Numbering, we could change the page number. We could change it to whatever we want. We could say continue numbering from previous page and book. But we're better to do these things at the component level. So let's do that first. Let's change the numbering. So we're going to select these 3. We're going to right click. We're going to do numbering. And we're basically going to say, look, continue the page numbering from the previous page in the book. We're going to click set. And then we can see now that we've got page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. All right, so let's go ahead and update the book. And see what we got. Now suddenly this document has 2 pages. And this document has 2 pages. This document has 2 pages. And this document has 1 page. Now why is that? Well, if we go back to the component, if we go back to the document level, if you recall, we go to Format, Page Layout, Pagination. We told this document that we wanted it to start on a right-hand page. And that's really the default. So what ends up happening is, even though we said make page count even, or I'm sorry, even though we said delete empty pages, in order for this second document to start on a right-hand page, FrameMaker has to automatically add an empty page to the end of this document. So that's why we say pages, see pages 1 and 2, and then that second page, of course, is empty. And then this one starts on a right-hand page, and so that's why we have the empty page at the end of 1. And then this third document starts on a right-hand page, and that's why the second document also has a blank page at the end. And you can see that. Now where it changes, interestingly enough, is on the last component, it honors that delete empty pages setting because there's no document following. Now if we added a document after that, the same thing would happen. So let's go ahead and update this again just to make sure. Now, if that's okay, that's fine. That's to be expected. But what a lot of the questions come up is, hey, I want these pages, I want these documents to start on the next available page. So for example, if this only has a single page, I want the following document to be on the back side of that page. So what we can do here is we can click again, we can shift click, and we can right click and do pagination. And this time we're going to say next available. So we're going to tell FrameMaker, look, if a document ends on a right-hand page, then start the next component on a left page. And that'll allow this thing just to go from one page to the other without any empty pages. Now the other thing we want to do here is, while we're doing this, is we want to say delete empty pages, because if there are empty pages, we want them to be deleted. So let's do that, and let's update this. And there we go. So now what we see is, this is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3. We're looking in the lower left-hand corner here in the status area, and this is page 4. So now we have a 4-page book, 2 sheets of paper, and they all back up to each other. And that solves that problem of having those empty blank pages added where you're wondering, why am I getting these empty pages and why can't I get rid of them? And again, the key is you do it at the component level. You don't do it at the individual document level. You do it at the book component level.